So we stand in front of Dollar Tree and basically
such as this thing here.
All right, I'm excited to have a guest.
This metal right here, poison. Everyone is. Cuba is like they're under a dictator.
RTD Live Talk was talk show. Excited to be back for a Tuesday edition. And sorry about running behind. Just trying to experiment with some things on the back end here, but definitely should be worth your while if you stick around. And before I dive any further, I want to welcome any first-time viewers to the community. Let me know if we have anybody out here that want to get a quick shout out. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from in the chat. And then the phone lines open up. Would love to get a chance to hear from you directly as I close some windows out on my side here. But it should be a good live stream. Definitely looking forward to connecting. I feel like it's been a while, but lots of things unfolding as always. Nothing new. It's never a dull moment in the alternative media space, but definitely curious to hear what you guys want to touch on. And so as you guys can tell from the chat here, bring a topic and let's talk about it. Just because I have 3 or 4 stories here, but all the stories that pretty much caught my attention, I usually share it either on Telegram or on Twitter throughout the day and just let it pass right on through, just because it's a lot of noise, a lot of distractions, but we all know it's ultimately where everything is heading. But beyond that, curious to get a chance to see what you guys are keeping an eye on. So let me acknowledge a couple of people. Let me know if my audio is good, everything like that. And then also want to get a chance, it's Thanksgiving week and a lot to be grateful for. And so I was inspired by one of the fellow community members over on Instagram, New York Stackerdom. If I'm sure I'm saying it incorrectly, but I was just extremely, fortunate to be a part of that community there, and got blessed with some weight last night just by tuning in. So appreciate my brothers over there getting their weight up. And so I figure I'll try to introduce that tonight as well and see how far we can take it and give you guys a chance to get a little weight for the holiday season. So I'm going to do a little giveaway on my side here. So should be fun. But anyway, somebody says, where Rolf? Let me just to make sure I'm going to butcher it, but I want to definitely pub them up real quick. If we got any people on Instagram, I would definitely encourage you guys to go join the community there. He does a good job. Tommy does a good job of it's stacking.nyc. Pardon me. And so stacking.nyc does some live streams throughout the week and actually does an auction giving off weight. And blessed your boy last night. So I appreciate Tommy over there. So anyway, so I'm going to do something similar tonight, but tonight is going to be different. I'm going to give you guys a chance to get your weight up just by simply doing a little Q&A. And so I'm going to throw out a question and we'll see who calls in. And if you get the right answer, then I'll, put something in the mail your way. Okay, so Michelle Obama's a man. Yeah, I mean, where she is or he is or whatever, ultimately speaking, what does that really matter to anybody at this point? The establishment, deep state, whatever you want to call them, they're so well embedded in all this crap. I mean, that's just one of the things where it's just doesn't matter for my well-being. Okay, so let me just acknowledge a couple people here, and then as always, throw out some thoughts, ideas, and topics, and I'll go through 2 or 3 of my end, then open the phone lines, and then we'll get to a little silver giveaway type of thing, see where it takes us. But anyway, we got Roger Rose checking in. It says Bitcoin is cheap, gold and silver. What else we got here? We got DC Precise, Mr. Steve checking in as well. We got Joshua, Functional Doc. Appreciate you, man. It says Mario and Rafi show was a good one today. Didn't get a chance to see it, but I did see that they got together. As always, dropping some nuggets. Let me see. We got Kenneth. We got what else? We got Maze World I, Pat CI from Miami. How you doing? We got Maze World from 313 Wayne. All right. So a fair amount of people here. Ed here. Larissa's checking in as well. Good stuff, man. Just came back from London vacation. Most of the shops. Here's something here from Prepper from the BX. Says, just came back from London for vacation. Most of the shops I went to do not accept cash. They are only one step closer to a cashless society. Yeah, 100%. And on top of that, just today, another article came out just shining more light on how looks like before the end of this year, the digital pound, they're going to put out some type of white paper to get the viewers get their constituents' thought process on things. And so once again, every nation is doing it. I mean, they all know, ultimately know, it's not the actual. Well, okay, the currency is the after effect of everything that's gone wrong. But rebranding currency and issuing it in a new form does not actually help the people, but more so keeps them in control. But the average Joe don't know nothing about that. Okay, so Rolf says, look up on YouTube for Love of Caroline Ellison, amazing song about the FTX scandal. Okay, Rolf, I'll definitely check that out. Okay, so let's keep it moving, man. So let me see here. So just to give you guys a little sneak peek, what I actually did. Let me put this on the camera here. Let me see if I can add this. So what I did, oops, wrong one. So what I did, if I can put it up here correctly, let me remove this. All right, there we go. So let me put this up here. Why is my camera acting up on me? Okay, so it's not let me do it. So here we go. So anyway, I grabbed a little bit of weight right here, and I'm going to try to put it out there in the community momentarily. So bear with me. So I'm going to do a little auction, not an auction, but just more so Q&A, and give the viewers a chance out there, members of the community, a chance to get a little weight here for those who are interested. So stick around. We'll go through a little back and forth here. Then I'll open the phone lines. And if you're interested, feel free to give me a call, and then we'll get a little chit chat. And then if I throw out a question to you, then you'll know that what time it is. So, all right. So enough of that. Let's get into a little bit of headlines here, if we can. Before I move forward, if you have not, make sure you guys click that thumbs up button. It does help, I believe. At some point, the algos will be my friend. But if you haven't, also make sure you guys hit that bell notification. Hopefully you are notified when we go live, and we can stay connected. And also all the social media tabs here that you guys need to connect. I encourage you to do so, just because the censorship will only get worse heading into the new year. So make sure you connect with all your favorite content creators. The link to that is in the description. All right, so let's keep going, man. Let me just bring up a little something over here. So it's just some things that caught my attention. I really just rather just talk to you guys, but we'll just go through some stuff here. This came up literally a couple of hours ago, and I thought how timely for the U.S. once again to continue talking about trying to put the hammer down on Russia with more sanctions. And so it says the U.S. is to announce Russian oil price cap in the coming days. And so this oil price cap was first floated out there at the beginning of I think more so middle summer. But then again, the U.S. was not able to do anything with it, just because oil prices in general was becoming a primary topic here in the U.S. And so because it was a primary topic, the U.S. basically stayed away from the oil price cap just to get through the midterms. But here we are now, midterms over with. And what better way to try to stir the pot and cause more pain for Russia other than to put a dollar price cap on oil that they've already chosen not to, for the most part, sell in dollars. And they are not really selling it for anything other than rubles, as well as national currency swaps with friendly nations. So once again, I thought this was just interesting because they're trying to play big and bad, but we know for the most part, it's irrelevant. And so just a quick things here that caught my attention, and I'll spare you the rest. But it says on the U.S. on Tuesday released details, guideline on how to legally participate in trading or financing Russian oil, days away from announcing an official oil price cap. The Treasury said. And it says here, as long as Russian oil is purchased at or below the price cap, trading, financing, shipping, insurance, and customers brokering will be allowed, or will all be covered and not considered a violation of sanctions. So basically, when we give you a number of what you can purchase it for, all those other things come along with it. You'll be good to go. It says the Russian oil import ban and new guidelines take effect on December 5th. So we got, as of 2 weeks from now, or a week from now, they'll kick in. But what's that number? They haven't quite told us that yet. But one thing I thought was interesting was that it says here the price cap will be an actual price and not a range, the official says. So they're going to basically say, we got the U.S. ultimately telling all these other G7 nations that we're going to set it somewhere in between what the market is charging right now for a barrel and what it costs Russia to produce it. So that gap, we're going to set something in between. And of course, Russia and the oil energy people over there already said they're not going to go for that. So it's just more so gibberish, but it's just the way they're trying to set this up. And so here's some figures. So we'll find out more. But it says the IMF estimates the full cost break even price for production of Russian oil is close to $30 to $40 a barrel. So you got $30 to $40 a barrel. And then as of right now, today, says the US benchmark price is $81 as of today. So you got Russia, according to the IMF, all in costs, $30, $40. Market price is 80. So they're going to say something like, well, we'll probably allow you to purchase Russian oil at $60 or something like that. It's going to stay there according to what we say. Okay, it's all fine and well. And so the question is, will Russia go along with that? Clearly they won't. They've already made it clear they will not be allowing the U.S. to dictate how much profit they can make on their own energy. Given the fact that Russia is a naturally oil-rich, energy-efficient country, this is just more of that de-dollarization. So basically, they're backing Russia into the corner even more so for them to take their next move. So it's like a chess game. You move, I move. We'll see who's big and bad at the end of the day. So my whole point is, this just plays into what's already happening, and it happens to be about the de-dollarization, which is continuing to move forward as always under the radar. A lot of people outside of the main alternative media is not talking about it, but this article came out this past weekend. It says Russia and China to abandon dollar in energy trade. So we've already known that they have been minimizing the role of the dollar in their mutual bilateral currency swap agreements. But as a result of this, it's good to say they're going to pick this up even more. So this came out this past weekend. It says the two nations have been promoting settlements in their national currencies. It says energy trade between Russia and China has been steadily growing and is up to 64% in monetary terms so far this year. So just think about that. This year alone, trade between Russia and China in reference to energy, the Russian ruble going to China, the Chinese yuan coming to Russia, has increased 64%. So ultimately speaking, by that 64% basically coming out of nowhere this year, think about how few dollars they're using as of right now. And of course, we've already seen some things about the exchange ratios and stuff like that. But it's ultimately saying that they can do all the price cap stuff they want because we're already using our own currencies. And all you're going to force us to do is just alleviate the rest of the dollars that we're using for trade. So anyway, this article here gives more details. But it's nothing new here, just more of the de-dollarization. But then again, the West don't mention nothing like this. They'll have us thinking that the sanctions actually hurt. Okay, and on another article here, here's something that I think is very telling as to the current affairs in the U.S. and how seriously problematic things are turning out for 2023. So here is an article from the confoundedinterest.net. It always does a good job of putting graphics and some quick blurbs as to what's happening. But this is titled The Deep. The U.S. Treasury 10-year, 2-year yield curves keeps going deep into inversion as the M2 money year over year collapses. And so basically this visual aid says it all. So here we have the downward trajectory, M2 year over year, basically because of the spigot being cut off, the remaining reserves that were used for capitalizing the financial system is drying up, i.e. the whale is drying up bit by bit. And as a result of that, U.S. Treasury yields, the short term is higher than the long term. So basically people are trying to shore up enough capital as they can now. Therefore, it costs more. And then here we have the 10 and 3 month also trending down. So just more signs as to how upside down the actual debt market is at this current moment. At the same time, the idea of dollars being abundant right now and available is not as plentiful as it used to be. Done deliberately by the Fed. This is a deliberate act of this is a what I would call, like they always say, is whatever events happen around the world is a threat to U.S. national security. What's going on right now, deliberately by the Federal Reserve, basically drying up the global economy and strangleholding other nations by forcing them to respond, is a threat to your financial security. It is 100%. It is lethal. But then again, most people don't know what and why that is. So it's unfortunate, man, but it is what it is. So the whole point in that is we're entering into the world where we're going to hear more and more about their solutions that they're throwing our way, which happens to be, let me share this with you. I actually hinted at this earlier, because not only was the 12-week, or is the current 12-week digital dollar pilot underway right now. We have, let me see here, just as of today. Let me see if I can find this. I didn't get a chance to grab the headline, but just let me see here. You may need So I'll just throw this out here. So this is relevant. But then again, same thing happening in the UK and everywhere else around the world. Here it says here, UK may need a digital pound, Bank of England's John Conliffe says. So once again, why? Why would central banks need a new form of currency? Obvious, because they destroy the old. So that's going to be their solution for the problems they created and caused. Okay, enough of that. It says I'm on a high alert on the damn digital pilot test going on. Yeah, and that's one of the things where it's unavoidable. It's built into the cake. It's inevitable just because we reached the end. As I've always said, we've reached the final hoorah in the Federal Reserve note and the credit system from the commercial bank side of things that has expanded the monetary base to this point. There's not much more you can drain out of this at this current moment because the world has already rejected it. And the scuffle between Ukraine and Russia is just a proxy war that I think Russia and all the East they're a part of this because it's a planned event. Like they need as much distraction as they can to keep people attention off of the fact that globally all fiat currencies is heading downward. And of course, they built the mechanism and tools that have allowed traditionary inflationary hedge assets such as gold and silver to basically remain non-existent as far as getting people's attention. But then they happen to put in a very attention-getting distraction at this current moment. And of course, you guys know what that sector is. I don't have to repeat myself on that. And as of right now, it looks like the sector I'm referring to happens to be all in the green. And so, once again, you remove the digital asset space out of the equation, where will people run if they knew their currency was basically draining them dry? They wouldn't be so excited to speculate on this stuff right here. They would have ran to gold and silver, and it would have definitely ruined their plans a long time ago. Okay, but anyway, let's move forward, man. Let's move forward. So what I want to do, as I mentioned, for those who are tuning in, I wanted to just do something a little bit different today, just to get some caller participation. And so I was inspired by Stacking NYC's live stream last night. Let me know if it looks a little blurry on my side. Let me see here. So we got Mr. Steve who says they'll be giving away CBDCs eventually to attract the early adapters. Then they'll use the social media influencers to push the propaganda, and people will lap it up. The fools will rush in. That is a possibility. What I'm anticipate happening is that once all these CBDC pilots are done, these are basically just test runs to make sure they work so they can protect themselves. There's going to be some type of banking event just because they're working in conjunction with the banks to either swap out the current commercial branded currencies and make it interoperable with the Federal Reserve as well as all the other central banks, make it all one unit of transferability, or we'll find out. But ultimately, the system itself is going to seize up, i.e. credit is going to seize up, and basically credit, as we know, it happens to be the digital versions of currencies. So literally, like right now, other than the fiat cash you have, that's the only true form of cash that you can say is your possession if it's in your hand. Because the stuff that's on your screen, on your phone, the stuff that's when you log in and check your bank account, there's nothing there other than digits. So at any minute, there's going to be a separation between you and those digits. And then what they're going to roll out will either be the equivalent of those same digits you think you own in a new branded form of a currency, or you're going to get a haircut, similar to what happened, I think, and I want to say last one I remember is whenever they roll out a new currency, they do a revaluation or redenomination of that currency to where the holders of those currencies take the haircut. So, i.e., for example, if whatever you got in your bank account right now, say $100,000 or $250,000 insured FDIC, stuff goes bad, they might issue a much less amount of that same liability that's owed to you in that new currency for half that. And of course, you'll take anything rather than lose it all. And of course, everybody's going to be pissed regardless. So it's not like, they're going to have to worry about one individual. There's going to be an outright civil unrest unless the overall conditions all around the country and the world is so chaotic that people will just be grateful to say they have something rather than have lost it all. And that's kind of where I think things may head. But once again, who knows? We'll get a chance to see. Roger Rose, great question, says, when will America go and invade Venezuela? Roger, as of right now, I don't think they will be invading Venezuela, just because if you notice from the meeting in Egypt, that COP27, if I'm not mistaken, Maduro met with what's his name? Jim Carrey, not Jim Carrey, John Kerry. Wow, forgive me, or not didn't meet with him, but to me, this right here was very telling as to the U.S.'s stance on Venezuela. So if I can pull this up here. So here you have John Kerry handshakes with Venezuela Maduro. So under the previous administration and up until now, this energy crunch, the U.S. would have never been caught alive standing next to Maduro, shaking his hand, laughing, giggling with him, unless they were attempting to get back in good favor with him and smooth that over so that they can get that energy. So they're not going to invade him. They're just going to sugarcoat him. We'll promise you a little immunity here and there. You can stay on power. We'll get rid of Juan Guaido, and you can, do your thing. Just give us that oil. And he'll say yes or no. Or what they'll do is remove the sanctions. If they remove the sanctions, that'll help revitalize the Venezuelan economy. It's a win-win for everybody. We get oil. Venezuela opens back up. And I think it'll be a good way to smooth over the last, 10 plus years of straight hell they've caused our country. But that's just my opinion. And I would love to go back to Venezuela as well. It's a beautiful country, man. It is a beautiful country. All right, let's get to some questions. So so for those who are plugged in, hit the thumbs up button and show your love and support for the channel. And then we're going to get right into, as I mentioned, for those who might came in late. So let me just put this on the screen here. So got a little weight next to me. And so I got a variety here. I got a variety pack of things that I'm going to put in your hands. So I'm going to give more details as to how I'm going to do that. So if you guys are interested, stick around and we'll talk more and get this going. But before I do that, let me acknowledge, because this is brought to us by Bullion Max. And so I'm very grateful that they're helping me put weight in people's hands. And so stick around real quick as I do this advertisement, and then we'll jump into some questions, and then I'll put some weight out there in the community. So stick around for one more second. Here's a great opportunity for you to get your weight up. Let's face it, our purchasing power and our currency has been destroyed in real time. That's why I'm excited to tell you about my partnership with Bullion Max. Bullion Max will ship gold and silver directly to your door for you to hold at your home or in your own safe. To help you get started, I worked out a special offer with them. Get Bullion Max Silver Starter Kit at employee pricing. Just go to bullionmax.com/RTD. This kit includes 5 of the most desirable silver products to invest in, including the American Silver Eagle and the Silver Australian Kangaroo. This offer is limited to 1 per household while supplies last, so get yours today and take advantage of this opportunity to get your weight up. Now, you can't just stop at getting your weight up. You also got to get your calories up, because definitely a food shortage is underway between droughts, flooding, and all the climate issues being thrown our way. America's food supply is near its breaking point. That's why survival food is more important than ever. Create your own stockpile of the best-selling 4 Patriot survival food kits. It's not ordinary food. We're talking about 25 years super survival food, hand-packed right in the family-owned facility in the USA. The kits are compact, sturdy, water-resistant. They have different delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Go to 4patriots.com/RTD to get your 3-month survival kit. You'll get their famous guarantee for an entire year after your order, plus 10 free gifts and free shipping. To take advantage of this opportunity, go to 4patriots.com/RTD to build your own stockpile today, because beyond the weight, you're going to need your calories as well. Links in the description. All right, let's talk. Let me get these phone lines open and give me a call. Let's talk. And so what I want to do, how I'm going to do this is give me a call, and I might just all of a sudden just want to throw you a question. If you want to participate, what I'll simply do is just throw out a little historical question of some kind. I got some questions back here, and some historical questions, and I'll just give you a question, and you give me the answer. You win. You get a chance to pick what you want. So how about that? We'll try that out. Okay, so phone lines are open. Give me a call. Let's talk. Whatever you guys want to touch on. Or if you got something else you want to get off your chest, just let me know. Okay, here, let me see. Charades for a silver ounce. Yeah, weight's better than no weight. You'd be surprised. It never hurts to add a little something extra to your stack, especially if you ain't gotta do nothing but just answer a question. Unless you ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta do nothing. All right, let me see here. What is this? Here's a question. It says, no, y'all seen the article about China buying all that PM the US met through cutouts. I saw, excuse me, I did see an article. Let me get this call here. I did see an article, and we'll see what we can do. Let's see. Oops. Bear with me. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from? Hello?
Yeah, this is Roger Rose in South Texas.
Roger Rose in South Texas. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Oh, I don't know. Just thinking about where the dollar is going to go. Everyone says it's going to crash, but, I just can't see it with all our military power. I mean, I know that there's going to be a reshuffling, but I think we're going to get shuffled a couple of aces no matter what happens.
Yeah, and so my thing is the dollar is not going anywhere. It's just the current position it holds around the world will eventually change throughout time to where we're still going to use dollars here, whether it's a paper or digital CBDC, whatever. We're still going to call it a dollar, but ultimately the amount of units it takes to buy what you need and what you want will go up exponentially throughout time, I think. And so we're going to use a dollar until, for next, as long as this country remains and as long as we have a domestic currency, it's going to be called a dollar. But the question is, what will it buy you? And the ability to live freely the way we have off credit that the world pays for, by us sending us real stuff, we send them debt. Those are the things that's going to eventually change to where we're going to have to get back to making for ourselves. Therefore, we're going to have to accept and work for a whole lot less in order to afford things, if we were to make it again ourselves in the rebuilding phase. So dollar's not going nowhere. It won't be the reserve at some point in the future. That's all.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Like I said, my only problem with that is just that I don't foresee it happening like overnight. I mean, and when we talk about the Great Reset, I mean, everybody sounds like it's just going to be like an instantaneous thing. Like the dollar's you wake up one day, it's not worth anything.
Right.
And maybe that's the plan, but that might be the reshuffling of a deck. But like I said, one way or another, the actual dollar is going to come up with a couple aces at least, because we're not going to give it away without causing a nuclear war or something, some type of war,
Right, and that's what I think that's what's underway right now with this whole Ukraine proxy stuff, like them painting Russia's the aggressor and all that other stuff. Like that all factors into it, in my opinion. So it'll be more diversions and distractions along the way, and God forbid it gets to the point of actually getting nuclear, because at that point nobody wins. But I wonder how far would those in power be willing to go to maintain something that's already dying, i.e., this world order that they're trying to maintain, because they've already announced China, Russia, they're creating their own multipolar world, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, man. We'll see, but I hope we don't get to that point.
All right, sounds good, Mike.
Appreciate you, man. Yep. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from?
313 Wayne, calling from Detroit.
313 Wayne. What's going on, my friend?
I just wanted to call in and to say that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, my brother.
Oh, 100%. 100%, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
All right. All right. Yes, sir.
Be good. Good stuff, man. Yeah, and that's the good news. Beyond all the stuff that we face in the natural and the spirit realm, it's never been more important to definitely be in tune with your spiritual life, just because we're going to need it, as if we already didn't need it. All right, let's go. What else we got here? So let me throw out a question. Okay, so let me throw out a question here. And as I mentioned, for those who are coming in, I was inspired by participating in an IG auction last night for some silver, and one of the community members there, actually, blessed me out of the blue just for being there, and a guy named Bob. So Bob, if you tune in, I appreciate you for showing your boy some love and helping me get my weight up. And he's just thanking me for just continuing to just share the news and do what I do. So I appreciate that, man. So I want to return a favor. And so for that was an actual auction. But what I'll do for this one is let's go. Okay, I'm gonna take this call, then we'll continue on. Hello, caller. Where we call it from?
Hey, Mike. It's Mike from Pacoima, California.
Mike, what's going on, my friend? What's in your mind?
I just want to let the viewers know, killer deal on tools right now. Sears, that old company, has a very good deal on tools. More than half off on I got like a 450 piece mechanics tool set for $200 this weekend.
Really? So Sears,
great for barterability if you're on the market for something.
Okay, so Sears is still
tools.
open. I didn't know Sears was still. I thought they closed.
The only one in my area in LA here it's open until like December or something.
Okay.
But Sears.com has them. I don't know how much shipping it is, but if you got a local Sears that's still open, like a flagship store or something like that, head on over there and see if you can get some good tools because I know I'm not sure if you did work with Lynette Zhang before, but she always says barterability, and that's the first thing I thought of. It's you could barter your work for whatever you need to eat,
Yeah, good stuff, man. So I got Sears.com up right here, and I see a lot of hell. 59, they got some 63% in savings.
3%, 70%.
Okay.
It's a killer deal. Craftsman still is the company, and they still have a lifetime warranty. I don't work for Sears or nothing, but man, this is a killer deal.
No, hey, that's a good heads up, my friend. Appreciate you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you.
Yeah, especially with all these prices, you might as well try to save some money,
Yeah. All right. Now watch this. You are you interested in participating in some silver giveaway? With a little bit of Q&A,
sure.
I'll give you a question. If you get the question right, I'll ship you. So what do we do? I'll ship you. I'll start off with the this 1 ounce bar here. So let me give you a question, and if you get it right, and I'll send you a little something. Let me grab a question right here. Okay, so here's a question. When was the first U.S. dollar printed?
See, that's kind of a tricky question. I'm gonna go with 1913.
Unfortunately, you are wrong. The answer is 1862. But it's all good, my friend. I appreciate you.
With the Federal Reserve dollar, I didn't know if it was the dollar, like the banking dollar.
I said
banking system or not.
It's a U.S. It's a U.S. dollar, so referring to the United States before the Federal Reserve. So, little trick question, but 1862, man. Appreciate you, my friend.
All right, you have a good one. Get your weight up, right?
For sure, 100%. Be good.
Take it easy.
All right, that was a good one. Okay, let's keep moving. So feel free, give me a call. Let's talk, or let's if you want a little Q&A, we'll go a couple more minutes. I'll give people. I want to give more people a chance to get some of these questions. Just so what I'm basically reading from is just like a historical layout, just of U.S. history. So I could just grab stuff and I trust that it's correct. I didn't get a chance to validate stuff because there's a lot of questions on here, but I'll take my chances with it. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ed. How you doing, Mike?
Ed, I'm doing good, my friend. What's on your mind tonight?
I was wondering, you seem to have a handle on this financial dollar, and man, I listen to stuff all the time, but it just confuses the crap out of me. Jack over at Nobody Special Finance had a really good show on the crypto stuff today, and they're putting together what's going to fall next and Genesis, this, that, and the other. But he's really into that. He was laying that down.
Yeah.
But my question for you is, do you think we're more likely to have an event where they can move into the I guess the real question is, if we go to a digital dollar, can that hyperinflate, or we would have to hyperinflate to get to a digital dollar?
Great question there. So just based upon information you gave me, trying to process it, I don't know for sure, but just I'd imagine hyperinflations in previous episodes always resulted in the paper currency often being the end result of what actually destroyed people's confidence, because as of right now, like I think Nigeria and a couple other countries, you need bundles to take to places. And so I think the US with the reserve currency status, and in fact, there's more dollars out in existence than there are here in the U.S., my assumption would be that they would want to avoid that. And so they want to, have something ready to go in the form of a digital unit, and somewhere in between, either call in all those nodes, abandon the nodes, make them illegal or something like that, to where people won't use those against them to say, hey, I have all my wealth in my hands here, while they're still trying to roll out a newer version of a digital currency. So I think there'll be an event. There'll be some type of legislation passed making CBDCs legal. And along the way, they're going to brand something to do with the currency and try to siphon it in somewhere, the physical paper somewhere, so that they can just have the digital representations out solely. And it's going to take several years, I believe. So I don't think we're going to have a hyperinflation, though, like the way that it has in other countries, just because I think people in foreign lands, they're going to still be using dollars because of their currency is basically not worth nothing. So dollars will still be used even in like Africa and South America because it's better than their own currency. So I don't think we'll be having hyperinflationary paper-wise using the Federal Reserve note, is my opinion.
So you're saying you don't think that the dollar we use now will hyperinflate?
The way I just don't see that happening. Like the actual paper units no longer being acceptable when you go into stores is going to be is not too likely. Like I'd imagine, because the majority of the dollars reside in digital form already, and so if they wipe those away through some banking event, what's going to be left is these papers of currency, which will actually hold probably somewhat of a premium, just because people will still want these things if they're scarce here in the U.S. Like the chance of them coming back home all at the same time is not too likely, as I mentioned before, because other nations will probably end up using dollars because of the perception of it having value, even in the midst of this transition. So hyperinflation with paper units circulating where you see wheelbarrows of Federal Reserve notes, I don't see that happening.
Okay, can the digital hyperinflate, or would they have to back it with gold or some other commodity to keep it from hyperinflating?
The digital, they can create as much as they want. So yes, but I think they would try to control the supply, i.e. making you spend it. That's why it's going to come with a time limit to where you'll have to spend it at a certain location, a certain time frame. That's how they're going to control the elasticity of the currency. Like, they'll put out some when they need more in the circulation, and they'll, expire some when they don't need some. So they can't do that with paper. So the goal is control that by time, making it programmable. So they'll take it away from you or give you more if need be. Permission currency, basically. So to avoid a hyperinflation, because they can control that. They can control how much is in circulation by just the stroke of some keys.
I was trying to stump you, brother. You're throwing out them hard questions and stuff.
Hey, so watch this. So so since you gave me a question, let me give you a question. Do you want a question for some weight?
Yeah, I hope it ain't as hard as that last one. Let's go.
Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna go 1900 history. So I'm just gonna go. Let me see here. Okay, so here's a good one. This is a good one, and I think this might be. I don't know. We'll see. Here's the question. Let me just shift some things around. So what I'm gonna do is, So I got this one. I got one bar here. So I'm gonna give you this one bar. I'm gonna give you this one bar here.
I want an RTD dollar.
You want an RTD?
No, I want an RTD.
Okay, so
I want one of those.
I got a purchasing power, or I got to get your weight up. So you get either one of these. If you get this question right, I'll send it to you in the mail. Here you go. You ready for this question?
Yep. Let's go.
I need the exact day and time. Not time. The exact day and year. So the month, the day, and the year. You got 5 seconds. You ready?
Okay.
When did the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor? 5.
December 7th, 1941, and it's my birthday, brother.
Yeah, okay. Congrats. I like that. So watch this. Let me okay, so I gotta make sure. Give me 1 second so I can make sure.
It was early in the morning too. It was sometime between like 6 and 10 a.m. I think it was like 6, 7 a.m. too.
Okay, bet. So I got you here. So I'm gonna reach out to you later to get your information. So you got get your weight coming in the mail, my man. Appreciate you.
I love it. Hey, I got that text number you sent on that. Can I just text it to you?
All right, best what I'm gonna do. I wrote it down, make sure I got you. So I'm gonna get you to you. So appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Yeah, be good. Man, that was on point. Okay, so yeah, hey, got up a little weight, man. I like that. Okay, so that was fun. Okay, so I know it's one of the things where you run the risk, but then again, it's worth it because my man Ed, I appreciate you, man. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so we go a couple more minutes and see what happens, see where it takes us. Yeah, and that's so there's 1900, there's 1800, 1700. So there's lots of time frames that I can grab historical events, all US related. And so that was fun. Anyway, feel free, give me a call or talk, or if you're a historical buff, give me a call. I'll give you a question. So I'll try to do at least 2 or 3 more questions, and then we'll call it in for the night. So, or just give me a call. Let me know what's in your radar. So, all right, what else we got going on here? So what was I talking about? I was talking about. Here's okay. So let me share something with you real quick. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can download. So I want to share this with you if I can. So everybody's following and paying attention to the whole Kanye West situation. And so I want to share something with you. He made a statement earlier that I think is worth everybody hearing, just so you can understand the consequences of relying upon digits. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? It's Amari from Milwaukee.
Amari from Milwaukee. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
How you doing, sir? I had a question for
Go
you.
ahead, give it to me.
Now, I've been hearing left and right, a lot of people around me, even on YouTube, people complaining left and right about these grocery bills, like, super high grocery bills for Thanksgiving coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, why do people feel the need to participate in something that they can't afford, and 2, is promoting obesity and overeating, and also celebrating the killing of millions of people? So I'm just curious, like, what?
Hey, great question, man. And I would just say tradition. Like it's tradition, and a lot of people never question why they celebrate in the first place. To where it's just something that it brings family together, and your average person just look at it as a time that takes. The average person use it for just a holiday to get off work. You know what I'm saying? And if you can get some food around that, sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? So it's meaningless to a lot of people. That's why, man. So I can't even fault people for not even considering, why, how, and how. Every month or every other month, there's some type of consumption-based holiday that was given to us that forces us to consume more and more and more. That's the American way, I guess. So, yeah.
Right, I agree. I mean, I personally don't celebrate any holidays, but I do still, spend time with family and
that's good,
so
man.
on and so forth, give back. But I just, like I said, if people literally can't afford it, why do they make these decisions? It's like detrimental to their own self well-being.
Right, 100%, man. So while I got you on here, I appreciate the question. Do you want a question to get some weight?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let me give you something. We're going back to the 1900s, and I'm going to give you a nice historical question. And so I'll give you 5 seconds on my count once I read the question. So let's try this. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. What I put on the table. Do you want? Would you prefer a bar or a hand poured round? Which one?
A bar.
A bar. Okay. So I got a United States of America bar here. Compliments of my partners over at Bullion Max. And so here's the question. You ready? Let me see. Which branch of the military did President John F. Kennedy serve in? 5, 4, 3, 2. 100% accurate, my friend. The United States Navy. Good job, my friend. You got a bar coming your way, my friend. Let me. What I'll do is I'll shoot me a text from the same number. Let me make sure I got you down here. And so I'll use this number here, and we can talk further on how to get it to you, my friend.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Be good, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. The Navy. I think that was a pretty. I think that was a. I mean, unless you're a history buff, I don't think I would have got that. I don't think I would have got that. Okay, let's get another question in. So feel free to give me a call, and let's have some fun with this. I'm enjoying this. So far we got a bar and a get your weight up round. So it's good times. All right, let's keep it moving. There's another subject I had in mind. There was something else I had on my mind. I got this. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Let me 1 second here. I'm gonna share with you. Let me grab this and put it on the screen and play this for you because I think it. So just listen to this real quick.
Went from being a multi-billionaire to not being able to use my Apple Pay. 4 nights ago, I couldn't use my Apple Pay because somehow Adidas was able to legally go in and freeze my money. And when I see this, I think, well, if this could happen to me, this could happen to other Americans. And for what? You know, this can happen to an American that didn't even steal anything, that didn't even hurt anyone. This could just happen to you for saying the wrong idea out loud, for expressing yourself.
So that right there is what I wanted to talk about in reference to digital currencies, whether it be the CBDCs or the decentralized cryptographic tokens that are sold to us as being out of the government's hands. There's nothing they can do about it, yada yada yada. Regardless, it's digital. Ones and zeros on a screen. It's software as a currency. It's you need a device in order to actually utilize it. So imagine cryptocurrencies. Like I was listening to some tech people. They were saying that every single cell phone has backdoors in it. So literally, like transacting with your cell phone, there's people who can see and control and get your keys and all types of stuff. So it's like using these devices in of themselves come at a risk. And so whether it's Apple Pay that cut off Ye's millions or billions or whatever he has, centrally controlled entities that can use it against you. Digital currencies can and will be used against you in the future. That's just my opinion. That's why I always stress the importance of getting your weight up, just because it's something physical and real that you can transact with hand to hand. Like literally, if stuff hits the way that a lot of people suspected it will, the idea of transacting, and like the caller mentioned, what Lynette Zhang talked about, barterability, being able to actually do hand-to-hand transaction, that's going to become very, very probable in the days ahead beyond what we have now, especially if there's a permissioned economy where you have to have done certain things to participate in that economy. Yeah, so I can rant on and on and on, but I'm not. So I think that was, he said 4 days ago. So assuming he probably got access back to his funds, but for however long he went to make a transaction, and that boy said, sorry, you said something that you shouldn't have said. Sad. Anyway, all right, let's get another question, man. Let me get another question out there. We're about 49 minutes. So for those who are tuned in, I gave away 2 ounces. So feel free to give me a call. Got a couple more ounces here that I would love to put out there. And so, this is like a little heads up into what I'm trying to work on my side, is putting together some type of interaction with you guys to put into the community, just to, for bless me with your time and energy and effort. And also hopefully allow you to reach out to other people, to have them come join in and hear a different message other than what they're getting from Fox, CNN, all that stuff like that. Just get more of the truth, unfiltered truth on this side. I'm gonna have to use that title, Unfiltered Truth. What else? Yeah, so I have a couple more subjects as well, but I'll spare you guys that, but save it for another day. Then also tomorrow at 7 p.m., connecting with some of the fellas in the community. And so I have my man Tom and Andre joining me for just a little heart-to-heart, guy talk. One gentleman is focused on geopolitics. The other gentleman, focuses on social events. We're going to come together and just have a little back-to-back, because I love being able to collaborate with other people, and had a chance to connect with these guys a couple of times, and man, they're some cool people. And I think, you will enjoy the dialogue back and forth, and you'll get a chance to also participate and share thoughts, ideas in the chat, and go from there. So tomorrow at 7 p.m., make sure you guys join us for that. I think it'll be fun. And as I mentioned before, on my side, just trying to shake stuff up, do something different. Just because I've been covering this stuff so long, after a while becomes like, somewhat, mundane in and of itself. All right, what else we got here? Tough questions. We're nervous. Okay, so because I would just put a question out there, first person respond, but then again, it'd be hard to monitor that and oversee that. So anyway, so we have 50 minutes. Phone didn't ring with it. Nobody wants a question. So I'll just save it for another day. But what I'll end up doing is trying to come back. And so I have, more. I got more of this good stuff right here. So what I'll try to do is just take this, put it out there, and just, have some fun with it. So hope you guys had fun interacting, and congrats to the community members that got, just an ounce can go a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't say ain't gonna hurt nobody. But then again, you never know when you might need it. Anyway, Australia, shipping and handling might be a little bit of a problem. But anyway, we at that 52-minute mark, as always, we'll dial back with that one. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with me, and bless mutual presence as always. And for those who might be new to the community, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, show your support. And also, preparation is key, mentally, physically, spiritually, you name it. And of course, learning new skills. There's so many things we all can do in between this time of now and whenever they decide to make their next move on the geopolitical scene. And of course, enjoy life. So tomorrow we'll be back at it again. This is a week to be thankful, grateful for what you have. Every day is if you wake up. So a lot of people did not wake up. And speaking of which, I got to be careful what I say, but on Rumble, there's a video that was just put out. I think it was by Stu Peters, if I'm not mistaken. And just the two words that were trending. It's a movie about that, about an hour or something long, very informative as to the health side of things. And it's called Died Suddenly. So type in Died Suddenly on Rumble. It'll pop up 100, maybe 1 million views by now, but something to pass along just so people can think about how they were duped and lied to. And hopefully the perpetrators that created that event, as well as those who forced it on humanity, gets their just due in court. But anyway, don't hold your breath. Anyway, but be blessed, be safe, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow, people. One love.